Hello, Magic Junkies. Welcome back to another episode of Fluffy Flamingos. I am your host. My name is Shai Mizrahi, and I am a YouTube creator and magician. I love to perform and teach magic tricks. If you guys are interested in learning card tricks, mentalism, theory, anything like that, then you're in the right place. Today, though, I wanted to talk about specifically 3 epic party pleasers. I know that the peak of my performing, maybe not the peak of my skills, but when I was in the thick of it, where I was constantly performing day in, day out, was high school. I know a lot of magicians, when they start, are either like 8 years old, in the middle of high school, or they're in their 30s and they just want to pick something new up. So I thought this would be a good opportunity, because if you're 8 years old, you probably got like a bunch of birthday parties to attend to. If you're in high school, there's hundreds of parties to go to. And when you're 30, you got all those barbecues waiting for you. Basically, I was just performing all the time and I loved it. I had so many opportunities and I just took all of them. I made sure that every opportunity given to me was taken. Many parties were attended and I used to crush parties. And if I were going to parties regularly now, I'm sure I would still be. So today I'm going to teach you guys 3 tricks that I love to perform at parties specifically, and I think you'll enjoy them. One thing I want to say before we just dive right into this tutorial, this first trick is kind of meant to fail. People are kind of supposed to know how it works by the time it's done. The second trick, kind of the same thing. There's not a whole lot left like mysteriously at the end of the trick. And then the third trick is probably the closest piece to actual magic that we'll get to in this episode. But without further ado, let's just go on to the first trick. All right, guys, the first thing we're gonna cover is the hand twist. If you guys already know what this is, stick around. I have some tips and tricks to enhance it and make it better than ever. Here's a quick performance of me doing it on my wife because, as you know, I'm new to this city and I don't know anyone here and I don't wanna just go pick someone up off the street. So here's my wife and me doing the thing. The thingy. Just watch. Okay guys, this is the hand twist performance. So here's what we're gonna do. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to face the camera. I want you to put your hands out like this, rotate them, overlap, and I want you to lock them together, stick your thumbs out. And the important thing for this is that, okay, perfect. So this pinky needs to go over that one, okay? So on 3, your job is to do this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Like you had it just right.
Oh.
Yeah. So go like this on 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time?
Yeah.
Okay. Hands out. Rotate. Overlap. Lock them. Put your thumbs out. And that's perfect. Like, thumbs out. There you go. Okay. Okay. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice job, you did it.
Yay!
So this trick is really more of like a gag. This is supposed to make people laugh, engage, and there's not a lot of like, man, how did he do that by the time this trick is done? The whole purpose of it is that when the trick is done, everyone's like, oh, that's so funny, he got me so good. That's the point of this. And what I love about this trick is, I mean, in the performance, it's just me and my wife. But when I'm out in public, when I'm doing a party or something, I'm surrounded by people. So I just say, okay, you go ahead, do this, you go ahead, do that, make sure that your pinky is just right. And it's really entertaining. See all these people gathering around and just listening to my instructions for the dumbest thing ever. If you just walked in on a group of people doing what I'm telling them in that performance, we look like crazy people. Why? What the? Go down. No, go down. Why? Stop that. That's better. All right, so let's go over this trick step by step, teach you guys the instructions, how to pull off the trick, obviously, and then some tips and tricks to enhance it to make it a little bit more psychologically convincing. One thing that I love about this trick is that it's great for practicing misdirection and audience management. Because if people don't know what you're talking about, if your instructions are literal doo-doo, then that's your fault. That's something you gotta fix, something you gotta learn. As I kind of mentioned briefly, this performance is kind of a tutorial in and of itself. But let's go over the instructions really quick. You're gonna hold out your hands. Sorry, I have lights like on the other side of me, so whenever I move my hands in front of me, my face is dark. There's black abyss. Sorry. You're gonna hold your hands out. You're gonna invert them, put them around the other, and then obviously interlock your hands. Make sure that your thumbs are sticking out at the bottom. And then obviously make sure that this pinky is on top or else it won't work. So just make sure that you do it really quick. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, do that. So that's what it looks like. Those are the basic instructions. Hands, invert, overlap, lock, thumbs out, pinky over a specific pinky. The pinky part is a lie. This is the misdirection. So as I just did on screen, you notice that I did not do this when I redid it. You know, when I was explaining the pinky thing, I did not do this all over again. I just went like this, which is very different. So just go like this and then put it to the side. That's the secret. I'm just a big liar. But the way that this is pulled off is by 3 very important aspects. 1 is eye contact. 2 is body language. And 3 is gestures. So this is what really makes this effect like, whoa, how did he do that the first time? When you do it a second time, if it's a big group, some people will catch on. And if you're lucky, you'll have that one person at the very end who still doesn't get it after the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. And that's what makes it an even bigger gag. At the end of the night, you can just like, I'm not gonna tell him what happened at all. And it can be a big joke for everybody. Just like, oh man, Dylan still doesn't know. Dylan's out of the loop. So really kind of toy around with your audience, manage the fact that they are doing this and make sure that they're doing it correctly. Make sure that you are watching them and make sure that they are keeping eye contact where they should be, and make sure that they're looking at your hands when they're supposed to be for the misdirection aspect. So when it comes to the eye contact, you want to make sure that you're making eye contact for the instruction bit, right? So you say, look, you're going to do this and make sure you're doing this and whatever. And that's when you make the most eye contact, right? The hand gestures obviously need to be clear. You need to make sure that they are following exactly what you're telling them. Thumbs out, pinky over this pinky, whatever, you need to get that misdirection. The pinky thing is really dumb, but it works every time. It seems so silly, but it does work. Body language. Make sure that when you do this the first time, the real time, that you really look constricted, you know? That you're like, wow, this is a really awkward position for me, and this is really stuck for me. So that way when you're like, oh, make sure that that pinky's over the other pinky. Okay, perfect, just like that. And go right back into it and just look the same. Try to mimic the same movement. That you're stuck, you're constricted, you're uncomfortable. So everyone here is. This is not a fun position to be in. And lastly, this is all about waiting for the right moment. So you need to make sure that you are like correcting people for quite a bit, you know? It doesn't have to be 3 minutes of me like fixing people's hands, but very briefly, it would look something like this. Go ahead, hold out your hands, do the instructions, whatever you need to do, but make sure that this pinky is over this pinky. So it should be your left pinky over your right pinky. This one right here, yep, perfect. Just like that, that's great. And we're just gonna have you guys for the next step go just like this. And then everyone in the audience is gonna try and do it and they can't. It's a funny little gag, everyone's involved, it's very like engaging. Everyone is there in the moment, wants to try and figure out what's going on. It's just a load of fun and definitely recommend for one of the party pleasers. The next trick we're gonna go over is the countdown trick, or as I like to call it, the booty call trick. Cause I got so much booty with this trick, man. This is the trick I used to pick up women with, aside from, you know, the magic kissing card trick. This was just the easiest way to get a girl's phone number, just like that. So if you guys are a little flirty with your magic, I know some people tend to be, this is a great trick for that. So you guys can do it for picking people up, for another gag, for betting money, which I don't condone. Gambling, bad, so bad. I would never say to do that. Bad things. Gambling's so bad. Okay, now that you guys know that gambling's bad, because it's so terrible. Another thing that I mentioned before, but I'm gonna say it one more time as we're doing the trick, this effect, when it's done, there's not a lot of people like, how did he do that? There will definitely be the question lingering, how did he know that was my card? And you'll see what I mean in a second, but that's really it. This is more of a wow factor of, dang it, he got me again. You know, that's kind of the effect that this trick has on people. So here's a performance of me and my wife again, because I'm lonely as shit, and here you go. Okay, so like I said, this is a good trick to like get a girl's number or something. So let's pretend
that I'm a girl.
That we're betting for your number.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's pretend I'm a girl.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Okay. Do you want to shuffle this or do you trust me?
I want to shuffle.
You want to truffle shuffle? So you're just gonna cut the cards?
Ready?
Yeah. Do it higher so the camera can see.
Ready?
You know, I feel like after all this time, you should know better. Okay.
Yo,
okay.
Pick a card, any card.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna get your number.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
Give me your number.
No, I want you to do me a favor and pick a card.
Any card?
Any one you want.
That one?
Go for it.
No.
Okay, grab it.
No.
Okay, go ahead, show the camera, but make sure I don't see. Okay. You got it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in the middle. Cool. Just like that.
Slap it in.
And I'm gonna start cutting these cards. You can tell me when to stop whenever you'd like. Gizmo, don't fucking bump my tripod, dude. I saw you do that.
You just keep cutting in the same spot. Okay, stop.
Okay. So hold out your hands like a cup. I'm gonna start, yeah, just like a cup. No. Ah! Stop! Like this. Okay. A little bit more flat. I'm gonna start dealing cards down. Okay? And I'm gonna, let's move a little bit closer. I'm gonna move the camera down so they can see this too. Okay? So I'm gonna start dealing cards down. And I'm gonna try and find your card by touch. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna start going and going. Let's see. Okay. So this is where I would bet you for your phone number. Okay.
Okay.
I think the next card I flip over is your card. Do you believe me?
No.
Was it the 8 of diamonds?
No.
Liar.
No.
What was it then?
Go back through.
No.
There's the 10 of hearts.
Liar.
No. Now
Yes.
you have to give me your number. Yeah, that was the right card.
Good.
Okay, do you want my number now?
I already have it.
I can write it down.
I already have it. All right, guys, that is the performance. Pretty simple, and we're gonna come down to the mat and teach you guys how I did that. It's, again, extremely simple, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's go down there and teach you guys how I pulled this off. Someone just texted me. My dang old wife texted me mid-video. All right, guys, today we're gonna be using the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, the Entry 03 peppers, right? Yeah, that's what I meant. And take a look right here. Peppers. Okay, guys, this trick is beyond simple. So we're gonna make this really fast, really nonchalant, if you will. There's one concept that I'm gonna teach you right now called a key card. This could be a key card. This could also be a key card. A key card is a card that you memorize in order to keep track of another card, all right? So let's say that this is their selection, and I have no idea what that card is, but I do know the 8 of hearts is on the bottom. So if I put that card on the bottom and then cut it, and cut it again or whatever, you'll realize very quickly that the 8 of hearts is just on top of their card, okay? The Jack of clubs had to have been their card. So let's try this again, knowing what the card is. So we know the bottom is the 3 of spades. So they pick a card, and it is the 9 of diamonds. So you can put that on top and cut it in, and you'll spread it out, and you'll realize, what do you know, the 3 of spades is right on top of the 9 of diamonds, okay? So this is our key card, the 3 of diamonds, and their selection 3 of spades. Their selection is the 9 of diamonds, okay? So it's that simple. My card keeps track of their card without actually telling me what their card is. This is the way the trick works. You will have a key card. They will memorize a card that we don't know what it is, but let's say it's the ace of spades, okay? So we have 10 of spades, ace of spades. So we would cut that in, and no matter how many times you cut the deck, it will always land right next to each other, okay? So as you're dealing cards, you're going to just look for your key card, the 10 of spades, okay? So we're gonna go until we find it. There it is. And let me go back. So we know for a fact that their card is next, okay? So you're going to deal their card and make it very lopsided. Make it stick out, very outjogged. You're gonna keep going. So just like this, and the whole purpose of sticking their card out so much is 2 reasons. 1, they can see clearly their card is still in the deck, okay? Second thing, it's gonna be a lot easier to grab out of here in a second. So here's some more psychology. Put this card out and give them specifically this line. How much do you want to bet that the next card that I flip over is your card? So now we've built up the ante. They know for a fact that their card is in here. We passed it for sure. And by deliberately putting out the next card, it looks like we're about to flip this one. This trick is just so much fun for so many reasons. It's just funny. It's funny to see how dumb people can be. But really, I mean, I'm just super manipulating them. So really, I'm just evil. So yeah, you say, how much you want to bet that the next card I flip over, and that's very specific, you say flip over. How much you want to bet that the next card I flip over is your card? And you can bet whatever you want. A phone number, money, but no gambling, guys. Gambling, bad. Very bad. We don't condone such heinous crimes. So yeah, mostly just the phone number. Or like, hey, let me slap you in the face if I'm right. You could really come up with anything. You have a fun imagination. So here you go. How much you want to bet the next card, blah, blah, blah. And they say, you know what? I'll take that bet. So then you return this card to the top and then just grab their card and flip it onto the top of the deck. And you just won the bet and the magic trick. So as I mentioned before, people are going to be like, whoa, he got me again. That's so funny. The only question that might come into their mind is, how did he know that was my card? But it's really not in the forefront of their mind. Like, yes, it is a magic trick and it is more of a gag than a trick. That question may arise, like, how did you know that was my card? But I haven't really been asked that ever when I perform this. It's mostly just they're having fun in the moment, and that's about it. So that is the countdown trick, or the BC trick, as we're gonna start calling it from now on. What I really love about today's episode is the variety. So the first trick we did about hand magic, or, you know, whatever you want to call that. Now we're doing a card trick, and then our last trick for today is a coin trick. I know. I've already said it to you guys before, but I'm pretty ass cheek when it comes to coin magic. This trick is so easy that even a magician schmuck like myself can pull it off. So have no fear, the beginner shit is here. This effect is so easy. I promise you, you'll be going to bed crying, knowing that you learned this in 2 minutes, okay? So simple. Here's a performance. It was to nobody. It was for the camera, because I was lonely even back then. This was me back in college years ago. But it's a simple little trick. You can do it to a desk like I did in this video. If you have no one else to talk to in your entire life. But this is how it looks. Okay, guys, check it out. I have a quarter with me. We're gonna leave the quarter right on the table. I put my other hand on top. I'm gonna pull out my second quarter. I know you can't see it, but listen, you can actually hear it. It's like that. You flick it up. 3, 2, 1. Two quarters right there. All right, it's a very fun effect, gets great reactions. This is really like the magic trick of this whole video. But one thing I will say before we dive into this is that there is a part in that performance where I made a sound effect where you say, I can hear the coin when I flip it. You can hear the coin. Oh, there it is. Where'd it go? Oh, what was that? You guys hear that? Oh, it's a bot trick. It's something called Ping from Tobias Dostal. Oh man, there's like not enough light on that at all. Look how cinematic that is, guys. But yeah, it's called Ping by Tobias Dostal from Illusionist. I have no idea if they sell this anymore. I got this in a Christmas package years ago. But this is the only trick I use it for because I'm so bad at coin magic, and I got this as a fluke, you know. I didn't ask for this. It was just put in a Christmas stocking for me from Illusionist. But yeah, this is the only trick I use it for, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but if you guys want, you can see if they sell that somewhere else. I haven't really dug into it, but if you're interested, you can make the coin sound with that gimmick. Otherwise, the rest of the trick, completely explainable on here without legal trouble, so let's go ahead and dive into this effect. All right, guys. Pretty simple trick. You just need 2 quarters, okay? That's all you need. One is going to be palmed in your palm, all right? If you guys don't know how to palm, there you go. Pretty simple. You just take the coin, and it should go in between these 2 fleshy parts of your palm. Go ahead, squeeze it slightly, and just like that, you are palming a coin. Pretty simple. If you guys have small hands, I know that's a big complaint. Figure it out. All right, here we go. I have really big hands, okay? And I really don't know what to tell people with small hands, because I've met people with small hands that can do this, you know? So just keep forcing it into your hand until you figure it out, because I don't know really how to help you. I've had huge hands my whole life, big mitts, all right? So here's how the trick's gonna go. You're gonna take out the first quarter while palming the second quarter. And you're gonna say, hey man, you look really cute today. Would you mind helping me out with a trick? And out of his fear for his life, he will comply. So we put the coin in his hand, and then I say, we actually need 1 more coin, right? So you take out your invisible coin, and you would have 2 hands at this point. So let me go back real quick. Okay, so you take out the coin, put it in the spectator's hand, and then you would immediately put your hand over their hand like this. While your hand is over their hand, your other hand, okay? This is the spectator's hand, this is my hand, all right? Spectator, mine. Spectator, mine, okay? So your hand's over the spectator's, here's my hand, and I pretend to pull out an invisible coin. And on 3, you'll flick it up, and here's the fun part. Ugh, let's take a seat on the super sinking couch. So you'll flick it up, and this is important. The psychology of looking up. So you're in this position, and you flick up the coin, and you look for it. And this is why I like to use ping, because the psychology of the auditorial cue makes it even more believable that there is an invisible coin out here somewhere. Ping! And then look up, you see 3, 2, 1, and you're just going to release, okay? So you flick the coin, you're looking up, and then very slightly, 3, 2, 1, you're going to release your hand slightly, okay? With any luck, if you aimed it right, it should sound like this, okay? And they can hear the coin landing. So that's the other thing I love about using ping with this effect, is if you hear it flip and you hear it land, it just makes more sense. If you don't hear it flick up, but you do hear it land, it just kind of, I feel like it kind of disrupts the trick. If anything, ping just enhances it, and that's why I like to use it. But in this case, all you're doing is slightly releasing into their hand. It's that simple. So just like this, 3, 2, 1, like that. And you move your hand, and now they can visually see 2 quarters. All right, guys, the tutorial section is officially over. I just want to say, now that everything's done, these 3 tricks in no way are showstoppers. So don't think that I showed you these tricks and I'm like, you guys are gonna be so grateful. I'm so glad I'm the king of magic around here. No, I'm well aware that these tricks are pretty low standard on the totem pole, okay? I'm well aware how simple they are, and that's why I taught them. Because they're more like show beginners. They're party pleasers, okay? They're not like mind-blowingly baffling. I get it, okay? These tricks, I just love them because they're so engaging, because they're so simple. I thought that you guys would really appreciate, just take a break, learn something new that's like super easy, and just be like, wow, even this kind of magic that's like super simple can still have a big effect on an audience. All I did was this, and I make people have a good time and interact, you know? It just seems so silly, but I promise you, these have a very big effect on crowds. When you're at a party, at a cello concert, you just do it to the guy next to you. You have the entire auditorium flipping their freaking hands around and ignoring the cellist. Because this is cooler. Not to bag on the cello or anything, but you get what I'm saying. This is definitely my style. It's social, it's goofy, takes risks. That's my thing. If you guys feel like you fall into that category as well, then these tricks should definitely help you. Should definitely help you find more of yourself in your act, help you learn, like, sometimes just the simple stuff is enough. You know, you don't have to destroy someone's mind with a diagonal palm shift. You can. I'm definitely working on that move right now. I'm working on my diagonal palm shift. But it's not necessary just to please someone or surprise them or impress them. So thank you guys again for watching this video. Go ahead, like it, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you guys, you know, get notified when more videos like this drop on this channel. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Fluffy Flamingos. Bye. Please don't comment on my hair. I'm well aware I'm blonde, okay? Anytime I do something to my hair, someone's on here like, yo, dude, what happened to your hair? Like, I don't know what happened. I bleached it yesterday, all right? No more questions. Just get out of here.